Have you got your Christmas shopping done and dusted? Well, if you have, well done, but have you remembered the batteries? The Gadget Show tries some out and reports on what's best for your toys. That's the Gadget Show at 8 o'clock.
A spoonful of creamed horseradish makes more of your mash. A tip from Albert Bartlett, providers of Rooster Potatoes and sponsors of Cooking the Books.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Edwards, and this is a show that aims to make cooking from cookbooks as easy as pie. Today's show, Brian Turner will be flying the flag with his British classic, fish pie. Another mystery celebrity will be attempting a lemon fudge cake recipe from Mary Berry. And Eric Landlard will be Hansel to Brian Turner's Gretel in our gingerbread showdown. Welcome to Cooking the Books. If the mere thought of cooking from recipes gives you the shivers, then this is the show for you. We have some of the best chefs around to show just how simple following their recipes can be. Our first chef is a proper Yorkshire lad, famous for his good old British cooking. He learned to cook aged 8 in his dad's transport caff, where his cocoa van started out as a cocoa lorry. Please welcome the author of Favourite British Recipes, it's Brian Turner. Hello, Brian.
You give me right.
It's a great gag, though, isn't it? It's a great gag. Yeah. So, which recipe from your book are you going to cook for us today?
We are going to do a fish pie.
Oh, lovely.
But with a slight difference.
OK, and what's your reason behind choosing this one?
Well, there are various reasons. A, it's a good old British classic.
Absolutely.
B, I love it. And C, I've just opened a pub in Somerset, and this is going to go on the menu, so we'll have a little practice.
Good pub grub.
Yeah, absolutely.
OK, well, it looks perfect on the page, but will it be as great on the plate? Let's run through your ingredients.
OK, over here we've got some just pan-fried potatoes that we're going to use. You often use mash, that's why this is different, OK? So pan-fried potatoes over here, we've got our dish ready to go.
Is that the difference, having the pan-fried potatoes?
That's right, rather than mashed potatoes, OK?
Right.
OK, so we've got our dish here with butter and seasoning in it. We've got lots of butter we need. We've got haddock here already diced. I've got some salmon and more haddock we're going to dice, and then I've got smoked haddock, so a little bit of smokiness, but not overpoweringly, OK?
Right, yeah.
Then we've got some more butter, it's me, a bit of flour, spring onions and Tabasco sauce to go into the sauce, and then we've got our vegetables. We've got some button onions peeled already, we've got some button mushrooms, we've got some lemon juice, some dry sherry and some water. And that is where we start. So if I change these pans over here and put that, if you put the fire on there if you would, please,
Put me to work, yeah,
and
absolutely.
then you take the mushrooms, the button onions, the sherry, the lemon juice and the water. Yes, that's fantastic. Put them all in together.
Right.
To cook them.
Okay.
Everything you put in there, if you would, please.
Everything?
Yeah.
Right.
And then I've got some already cooked in here. See if you could strain them off into this bowl, into this sieve. I need the juice as well, please, yes?
Okay.
Okay, whilst you're doing that, I'm going to get on the sauce in this pan here, so let's turn that on quickly. It's coming up nicely. And I'm going to put some butter in there to melt. And then we're going to put some flour in there to make a roux. And what we're going to do, here I've got milk and double cream boiled, and I'm going to add that to the sauce, OK?
Right, OK.
So what we'll do, now that's starting to go, I'd like you to just put a little bit in there and stir it.
A little.
Before you do that, sir, could you just strain those off for me, please?
Yes, of course.
Do that, that's a good fella.
Why did we put this... What was it called again?
It's called... a cartouche.
A lid.
And it's just like, it's instead of having a solid lid.
But why do we need a lid on it? Just to...
Well, just to keep the liquor in so it doesn't actually evaporate, because I want that stock. So I've cut the fish here into big pieces so they don't break up too much. And we'll put that into this bowl over here then, so we can mix it. Yes, please, sir, that's a good fella.
OK.
Don't panic about it, because I've already done that, so you can actually show us how to do it.
I'm perfectly in control.
I think you're doing a great job there, OK. So look, let me put all the fish in here. And if I take your vegetables...
Yes, sir. There you go.
Good man, you see, you're working extremely well.
Oh, you know, you're a good teacher.
And we'll mix all these together here and put them into our pie dish. And this is really nice as this. Just get your hands in there. Pour that in. Just look at it. It looks fantastic. It smells good as well. The nice thing about fish to use is it always smells good.
The thing is, when I have fish pie, quite often it has things like prawns or, not octopus, squid or scallops and things like that.
Well, that's
is this a traditional English version?
Basic English fish or North Sea and Atlantic fish.
More, creamy?
Yes, please. What we're going to do as well, of course, because we kept this vegetable liquor, got bags of flavour in there, we're going to put that in there as well. So we're really keeping lots of flavours there. And what I'm going to do, because I've actually got one ready here, do you want to just stir this one for me?
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably the best one. We'll get rid of that out of the way. we've got one ready. I've got some chopped parsley in there, but I'm going to put in there some spring onions. And this is just a bit of a livener.
Yeah, the
Tabasco sauce. Don't go
that
mad.
did intrigue me slightly because I wouldn't normally associate fish pie with having Tabasco in it.
It
so
gives
I'm
it what we
fascinated.
call a lift, if I may. Just borrow that, sir, because you're doing a great job. We just pour that on the top. See, it is the basic, simplest of processors. Once you've got that, just if you turn those off for me, just tap them down a little bit so it's nice. And what we're going to do, we need to work quickly together here.
Yep, okay.
These are being sautéed in butter, so we lay them, you start that side,
Okay.
we lay them nicely so you get a really nice decoration to form a pie crust.
What about sweet potato? Because I love sweet potato.
Yeah,
Could you use that or would it not work?
You could use it. You could even use carrots and swede with potato. This goes in the oven for about 30 minutes,
Right.
200 degrees. We've got, thank you, so that's kind.
There you
We've
go.
got one here, which I think, it smells
It's bubbling
delicious.
away. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to smell this. It smells absolutely fantastic.
It
It's nice and
looks
bubbling there at the
so
top.
rustic and it's so hot. Brilliant.
That is really hot, isn't it?
Okay, well, I think the trick here,
Some on
you
the
have to
plate.
be careful. I think normally you'd leave it to rest for a little while. Just take a couple of those potatoes out of the way. Get down there. Just look at, smell that.
Yeah.
You see, you eat with your eyes to start with, and then your nose,
Yeah.
and that really is smelling brilliant, I have to say.
See, I like that tip of just moving the potato to one side while you dish it up, and then I presume you just put it back on the top again.
Yeah,
'Cause I always make a right
and
mess of it.
Well, you do, that's right. So all you do now is just take those nice-looking potatoes. You put them on top there. Can you pass me some parsley,
yes,
please?
there we go.
We'll make this look really good on this white plate. Just want a little bit of parsley there, just to give it that big burst of fresh green colour. That's it. There, it's almost a salad.
Absolutely gorgeous. Let's just remind ourselves how it looked on the page. And this is what it looks like on the plate. I've got to say, Brian, that is very impressive. Doesn't it look impressive, folks? Yeah. I'm gonna tuck in.
I'm going to join you.
A bit of a mushroom. Oh yeah. It really is one of your favourites, isn't it, Brian?
But the nice thing is it's simple, good fresh flavours.
That sauce is astounding, isn't it? Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you. Wonderful job. Now, while I tuck into this, time for you to solve a mystery. Who is this iron-willed celebrity who's been challenged to make a lemon fudge cake?
Well, I hope mine looks as good as the one in the photograph. Gosh, what fun! This is the non-designer way to do it.
Yeah, not a bad job. But any ideas who was cooking the books? We'll reveal all after the break when French cake king Eric Lanlard will also be joining us to do battle with Brian in our gingerbread head-to-head. Stay right where you are, back in a sec. Welcome back to Cooking the Books. In a few moments, Eric Lanlard and Brian Turner will be locking horns in our gingerbread challenge. Right now, though, our cookery club have been preparing some recipes of their own at home. Hello, Marilyn, Mervyn, you're from Lincolnshire.
That's correct, yeah.
I couldn't help but notice there are a few leeks here. What's going on?
We grow leeks in Lincolnshire,
Right.
and we are members of the British Leek Growers Association, as are everybody else here.
Ah,
They also grow leeks and are members as well.
What have you made for us today?
Leek and Stilton soup. Mervyn picked the leeks last night and I made the leek soup at 5 o'clock this morning for you.
Oh, such dedication. We like that. Thank you, Marilyn. Thanks very much, guys. I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got to take a leak. Earlier, we showed you a mystery celebrity electing to make herself the mother of all lemon fudge cakes. Have you guessed who it is yet? Yes, her mother might have been voted Prime Minister, but she was voted Queen of the Jungle. It's Carol Thatcher. Hello, Carol. Hello. Nice to meet you. Showbiz. Thanks for coming in. So, Carol, are you a good cook?
No, I'm a modest cook, but I enjoy cooking with other people.
Yeah? OK, and I have to ask, what was the food like at Downing Street? Did you get to eat there?
I did go and eat occasionally in Downing Street. My mother insisted that everything was very British and good quality. Brian would have approved of the Maggie No. 10 grub. Even down to the mineral water. Perrier bottles were dispatched and in came the Malvern.
OK, and did your mum cook herself, or was it just
No, if we had 60 people for lunch, actually my mother didn't cook because she was meant to be running the country, actually.
Yeah, fairly busy.
And there was somebody else to do that.
But I believe when our crew came round to film your film, doing your challenge, you didn't actually have any equipment.
I haven't got designer equipment, but come the next sales, I'm going to upgrade.
OK, well, Brian here, Carol Brian, is going to show you how to make a nice lemon dessert that requires nothing more than a bowl and a spoon. Is that right, Brian?
A bowl, a spoon, and the tip is a little metal tray. Because we're going to make a lemon sorbet, and really all you need is water, sugar, and lemon. All you do to make lemon sorbet is you make sure the lemons are clean and washed. You peel them very thinly so you don't have any of the pith on there, and you put that into a pan with boiling water and bring it up to boil and add the sugar, and once it's come to the boil, you turn it off. Let it cool and then put it in the fridge overnight, and then all you do is you squeeze the lemon juice into the syrup that you've made, and then you put it on a long metal tray. I'll show you one in a second.
Right.
And the thing about the tray is it's cold in the freezer. This makes it nice and cold, and every now and then you take it out, scrape it into the bowl, whisk it round, put it back on the tray and back into the freezer, and that's really all there is to
Carol,
it.
you think you could manage that?
My sort of recipe.
I've got some here, let me show you. We've got it in the fridge here, and it is a question of just calculating the temperature, but it comes out of the freezer, it may be a little bit hard. There may well be, says he, here we are, look at that. This is to make it really special for you. We got frozen lemon here, and the nice thing about this is you can now make this in advance. You can see what I say, so now when you whisk it up it makes it smoother, but all you then is just pile it into
Very impressive.
like that, and it really does look quite simple. And he's actually, let me tell you,
How do I get a spoonful of this?
There you go. There you go. OK, thank you, Brian. Carol, I hope that's helped you. Carol, I'm going to ask you to stay with Brian. You're going to help him in our taste test in just a moment. The challenge today is a Christmas treat, so time to meet Brian's opponent. Our next chef is known as the King of Cakes. He made one for Madonna's wedding, one for Brooklyn Beckham's first birthday, and one for the Queen Mother's 101st birthday. But we're not saying which one was the biggest. Please welcome Eric Lanlard. Hello, Eric. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. So, do you get nervous when you're making cakes for such important people?
Well, of course. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's, Liz Hurley or Madonna or just your regular
Liz
bride.
Hurley as well.
Yeah, or your regular bride. It's it's one of the biggest day of their life. Usually it happens only once, so it's no room for mistake or cake collapsing. So, of course, it's very important, and we always make sure we deliver it.
Okay, thanks very much, Eric. Every day we get two chefs to let their cooking do the talking by preparing their own versions of the same dish. But whose will be judged the best? That's down to a member of our cookery club to decide. So, Eric, which recipe are you going to do for us today?
Well, today I'm going to make a hot gingerbread souffle
Where's that come
custard. Well, it's just a take, you get all the flavors of Christmas. Most of all the ingredients of the traditional gingerbread are part of the flour.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite a good alternative and a perfect dessert.
Yeah.
You can make it at the last minute, and it's nice and light as well. So it should really work on Christmas Day or on Boxing Day.
Okay, and what are your ingredients?
Well, ingredients, we got some eggs who's been separated. So I got the white and the yolks here. I got some good quality dark chocolate. This one comes from South America. Will work perfectly with the spices we're going to use today.
Lovely.
We've got some ground cinnamon, ground ginger, some dark rum, and some vanilla extract. And we got some unsalted butter. A bit of icing sugar for the end to dust on the top. Here I got some custard. That could be made the day before, because we're going to use it cold.
Okay.
And I got some custard sugar as well here.
Okay, thanks very much, Eric. Sounds delicious. So, Brian, you're going to be cooking from your book, Favourite British Recipes.
That's the one.
And what are you going to be making?
Well, what we're making actually is the classic gingerbread. Now, there's so many kinds of gingerbreads around Europe, but this is British and fairly northern.
Right.
Simple gingerbread.
Okay, and what are your ingredients?
We've got butter, unrefined sugar, if you can get it, which is great.
Right.
We've got sultanas chopped and crystallized ginger, which is the added extra now. We've got powdered ginger or ground ginger, flour, bicarbonate of soda, a couple of eggs, and because it's Turner, we've got a bit of double cream in there as well.
Lovely.
Okay, and we're going to serve it with some caramelised oranges and some clotted cream.
So, Carol, is this the sort of thing that you might like?
Oh, yes, and my mum.
Yes? Okay. So, Brian's is a traditional British loaf and Eric's is a fancy French souffle. But whose will rise to the top in this challenge? Let's go.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to put the butter and the unrefined sugar and just whisk these up here.
Any jobs for Carol?
Yeah, absolutely. If you could take the flour and the ginger and sieve them, because I know that you're a pretty good siever and a melder of things. Here we go. Right, and we'll just whip this up here.
Good bit of great sieving, you're right.
I'm not a great fan of these machines, so once I've got it going, the trick is to make sure the butter's nice and soft.
Right.
Sieved, I got most of it in the bowl.
You did a jolly good job there, young lady. So, right, if you just tip this ginger in for me, so the crystallised ginger
In here?
goes in here, yes please, right, lovely. Then we're going to put the sultanas in, that's great. Now, I think you should perhaps break those 2 eggs into there if you would.
Oh, I've been upgraded.
Get cracking.
I will take the cream here.
So, Brian...
Put into the pan to warm it up to put the bicab in there. Yes, sir.
Right, so why is it such a traditional English dish?
Being as old as I am, I can remember the days when this was always in our house, and whenever they made cakes, my mother was particularly good at making ginger-based cakes. Right, if you put those into there for me, please. And the nice thing about this is it actually gets better the longer you store it. Keep it in an airtight tin. An old cake tin is wonderful. Right, pour that into here for me, if you would, please, young lady.
Why does it get better?
Well, it's just because it's a bit like most of us, Carol. It matures, and as it matures,
better with age.
it understands more about life, and therefore is tastier. And may I say that you're a classic example of someone who's got
what a
tastier.
charmer, what a charmer. I'm going to leave you two to get on with that for a moment. I'm going to check on Eric. Eric, how are you doing?
I'm doing very fine, absolutely fine. I got the ramekin ready.
Okay.
So I coat them lightly with some melted butter.
Right.
And just a bit of covered with some caster sugar.
Caster sugar,
So that will give
right.
us a nice crust when they come out from the oven as well. The chocolate now is melted, and I'm going to add to that all the spices and the rum, the vanilla on the butter to it as well.
Okay, so just get those in there. And that's on a bain-marie?
Yeah, that's on a bain-marie. Always make sure it doesn't, simmering, not boiling water, you will burn your chocolates. It will not be a pleasant taste.
So this makes a good alternative for cake. Everyone eats so much at Christmas, things can get a bit heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
But is it difficult to make? Because people are scared of soufflés, the whole timing aspect.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's the timing, of course, is important. But you will find when it's not bad. Just keep it to the 11 minutes.
Yes.
11 minutes on the
So long as you
spot.
don't drink too much sherry.
Exactly. That's
or champagne.
That's what
so
you
you lose track of time, then you should be okay.
Exactly. So now the butter.
Yeah.
And we're going to take it off from the heat, and we will add next the egg yolk. So I'm going to do that. Is it? No, it's not too hot, so it's okay.
Okay. I'm just going to put the whites in.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave it at this stage. I'm going to check on Brian, see how it's getting on with his gingerbread cake. How you doing?
Okay, we're fantastic. Carol and I have done a great job here. It's already got paper and greased in our terry, our loaf tin here.
Right.
We'll put that into there, and it goes into an oven about 160 degrees, an hour and a half, nice and slow, and you needn't worry about it at all. It's almost impossible to ruin this.
Right.
That goes in there. When it comes out, it looks like this. Now, we've let this sit for a little while, but it's actually better if you let it sit for a whole day.
So it might be an idea if it would last to make it, I don't know, a few days in advance before Christmas or even
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And this is one of those jobs that you can actually do for Christmas and get yourself well in front of the game.
Yeah.
So we cut it into really nice slices.
Right.
I've got some caramelised orange and some clotted cream
bring
over
that
there.
over
So
here
bring
for
this
you.
over here.
There you go.
The beauty of this, of course, it gets better, as we said. Just look at the ginger there. You see those little bits of ginger there? They're really nice. It gets moister as you keep it. And it really is very, very simple. Anybody can do this. Caramelised oranges, butter and a little bit of sugar. That's all it is. Nice thick wedges. And then we could never afford this kind of cream when I was a lad, so I use it whenever I can. Good old West Country clotted cream.
Brian, that looks absolutely gorgeous. Let's just remind ourselves how it looked on the page. And this is what it looks like on the plate. So, Brian, need I ask, why do you think your gingerbread should win the challenge today?
Well, I think that's a really simple, pure gingerbread, not a chocolate souffle, and it's the best of Brian and the best of British.
Oh, fighting talk there. Eric, what are you up to?
Hey, almost done.
Yeah?
So I just I whipped the egg white, quite firm. I added a bit of caster sugar to it as well, and now I'm adding the rest of the egg white gently to make
folding it in?
Folding it, make sure all the egg whites stay there, because we want to make sure our souffle rise in the oven.
Okay.
So that's the best way to do it, is to use a big a spoon like this and just to lift your mixture.
So keeping it nice and light, so you want to keep lots of air in it.
But actually the mixture will, won't fail straight away. So, if you're a bit worried when you're going to drink a bit too much claret over your turkey, you can prepare that mixture in advance, fill your ramekin, and put it in the fridge. And
so that's good. So you can prep it early?
Yeah, you can do it a bit. I mean, I will do it just after the starter, if you're going to have a starter. And you just need to cook it, really.
So is that nearly ready to go in the ramekin?
Yeah, that's ready to go. You can see it's all lovely and fluffy. And you can smell already the chocolate and all the spices. So.
Okay. Well, let's get one in. Right.
Go. So you just fill it right to the top. Like this. And just put it level with your spoon or a palette knife if you've got one. Just clear the side of your finger. We don't want that to burn. And that's going to go in the oven 180 for 11 minutes.
180 for 11 minutes.
And you have to be 11 minutes, not 12 or 10. And you can smell that. Shut that for you. It's still a bit wobbly, and that's what we want.
Yeah?
Exactly.
So is it all gooey in the middle?
Should be. If it's not, we're in trouble. Okay. So I'm just going to lift it on the plate, on the serving plate, like this, and just dust it a little bit with icing sugar.
Yeah.
But the trick as well, and to light it up a bit more, is just to do a little hole just before you serve it, and you can see the inside is all gooey. It's just to run some cold vanilla custard inside. There we go. That should be ready to eat.
That's absolutely gorgeous. So, Eric, why do you think your souffle will win today's challenge?
We've got all the flavors of Christmas, chocolate, spices, and of course the sophistication of a French dessert.
Oh, you hear that, Brian? Okay, well, it's not for me to decide. They both look delicious. It's up to Nick from Cambridgeshire in our cookery club. Right, Nick, you've got a job on your hands here.
I certainly have.
A good one. There you go. You tuck into those. I shall ask you what you think in just a second. You can get all of today's recipes on our website, 5.tv/cooking the books. Nick looks like he's really enjoying his gingerbread. Thanks to all my guests today, Brian Turner, Eric Landlard and Carol Thatcher. Thank you. But now, the moment of truth. Nick, they both look delicious.
Well, they certainly are.
But what do you think?
Well, we'll start with Brian's. This was really zangy and had a really strong flavour to it. Great flavour. Eric's souffle here, which I am a real sucker for chocolate. So, and with the ginger accompanying it, it does give that a really fine taste.
There can only be one winner. Who's it going to be?
After Christmas lunch, I think this will be the winner.
So it's
Eric is the winner.
Eric, congratulations. He went for the lighter option. The lighter option. The books we've been cooking today were Favourite British Recipes by Brian Turner and One Step Ahead by Mary Berry. And Nick, they're all yours to take home. See you tomorrow, 6:30 on 5 for more cooks and more books. Bye.
Nigel Marvin is checking out the wildlife of the Canadian Arctic. It's a 9-month quest to explore the land of the polar bear. A brand new series starts tonight in 15 minutes. That's after the latest 5 News.
An apple, they say, keeps the sprouting away. A tip from Albert Bartlett, providers of Rooster Potatoes and sponsors of Cooking the Books.
Our bodies have evolved, so have their powers. What makes some of us so special? Can we survive under extreme conditions? Are we all potential superheroes? The Royal Institution Christmas Lectures return with the Science of Survival, 7:15 Christmas Eve on 5.
The switch over to digital TV is happening region by region, with the first regions switching over in 2008. To continue enjoying all your favourite shows on 5,